Hi, color therapist Susan McKenzie here. Well, we've arrived at the full moon in November of 2024. Welcome. Here are the two bottles that were chosen to give you support over this full moon. And, I just love the moon. And, I think it has to do with the fact that in its cyclical journey, it really seems we're able to see the encapsulation of the broader dynamics of the universe, right? In the universe, we have, the cycle of birth, growth, decay, and rebirth, right? We have that in weather cycles as well in some countries, right? And, these are not just phases of even within life, right? They're not just phases, but rather there's the perpetual components of existence. And that is true of humans, of all living creatures on this planet, and like I said, the cycles of the moon and the weather, right? And for the moon, in its luminescence glow, right, we are reminded of the ebb and flow of life, right? As it comes and goes, right, through the whole entire 29-day cycle, right? There's this constant dance of creation and dormancy in the actual cycle if you work with these lunar cycles. And, like I said, it's not unlike the weather in countries that have distinct seasons. It's the exact same thing. We're going into fall, and it is a very distinct season. It is, I always say that it is death in all its beauty. I live in Ontario, and the colors are just so fabulous, right? But, with these cycles, the moon, the weather, and otherwise, really, we have this undying spirit of resilience, right? It's like we know that the next cycle will always arrive. And we need to understand that about ourselves in our lives, right? And, this lovely moon really helps us to connect to the importance of preparation, right? It also really helps us this full moon will also really help us to embrace the beauty of the transitions that we're going through and the inevitability of change, right? Because remember, change really is inevitable. It's going to happen, right? And we while we can't, it's like, I think we need to be in charge of that to the best of our ability, right? It's like, we can't guide the wind, but we can certainly set our sail for the course, right? And only we can set our sail. Nobody else can do it for us. There's no first mate. It's you. You're the captain. You're the captain of your soul, right? And we get to decide at any given moment of time, we can decide how we want to respond to any situation. So it's really important that we actually really understand that. And I say try and choose the side of love, joy, and peace and grace, like all of those really love-filling and the happy vibrations, as I like to call them, right? But and if you do, I don't think you're going to be really disappointed in that. You will much with much greater ease. You will be in the ebb and flow of life, and you will take part in that dance, the constant dance, right? You will dance the constant dance between that creation and dormancy, right? And it will fill your spirit. That I can guarantee you. Your spirit will be filled with all the right stuff to live in that space of grace. So here are two lovely bottles, and I thought they looked actually quite nice together. I think I was surprised when I put them together. I went, oh, those look really nice. And let's go and have a look and see what these two bottles have to say. So the first bottle we're going to look at is this bright thing right here. Look at that. Number 21, the key. We have gold over yellow. Isn't that lovely? Just so bright and yummy. And, it's kind of like a party in a bottle. But it's not really like, it is, but it isn't really like, it's not it's more of a celebration than a party. Let's say that, right? Look at the joy in that bottle. I don't think you can get angry and look at that bottle. Maybe you can, but I don't think you can, because it's going to just shine joy back to you, right? Yellow brings in joy and power in the body. And that gold shines a light on your wisdom and power in the spirit. So you have power in the body and power in the spirit together in one bottle, right? There's this real decisiveness here with this bottle, and it's really about an indication of a cycle coming to an end, real sense, hence the reason to celebrate, right? And there's a real confidence here in it. You can see it in that gold on top, right? That wisdom, that authentic wisdom that's there, right? And it's kind of like almost like, I feel like this bottle is always like almost like a nod and a wink from the universe to say, yeah, go on, you can shine your light now, go for it, right? And kind of think about yourself when you were 21. Um, there's to 21-year-olds, there's quite an interesting confidence that exists there. I tell people, I moved to England. I left. I'm originally from Winnipeg, and I left Winnipeg at the age of 21 and thought I knew everything and moved to England. And then now I sit back and go, holy crap. I don't think I would have done that. If I don't know, maybe I would have, I don't know. But I mean, yeah, it was like that surety that I had, that confidence, the 21-year-old confidence that I had, right? And, there's, like they say, there's a sense of being immortal and knowing your own, and it's like you really know your own power and your potential at the age of 21, right? And there is this energy of that in this bottle, right? No matter what your age, your 21-year-old energy is in that bottle, right? So also those who struggle with addiction or people who give their power away too easily, those who feel stuck in maybe a limited mindset, you'll really find a deeper connection with your inner power source. When you're choosing this bottle, that's a really good indication for you. This bottle will reflect back to you these colors and the message from the higher self, right? Life is yours for the taking, right? You got this. That's what your higher self is telling you when you're choosing this bottle, right? It's time to do and to be all that you are, right? I mean, like, what are we waiting for? Like, do it now, because, be all that you can be in each moment. And, and then, a month from now, there'll be another opportunity for you to be all you are in that moment. But always strive for that, right? How can you go wrong? Because you're authentically being yourself and you're standing in this space of joy. You're letting go of the things that keep you from that when you're sitting here with this, right? Move on to the next level of your life. I like that celebration of moving on to the next level. Again, it goes back and tapping into those cycles, right, that we're talking about. Remember that you really hold the key. The bottle's called the key. You hold the key, right? Join wisdom and own both of them, because they will carry you far, right? And it's really also an opportunity for you to go out there and an experiment, right? See what sticks, throw things at the wall, see what sticks, right? But branch out, stretch yourself, and really just try something new. Why not, right? Play, have fun. Like, this bottle is so joyous. Like, look at it again. It's just so yummy, right? And, when you're ready, turn the key and open that door. Opportunity awaits. Opportunity awaits. Your shining light. That is your first bottle for this full moon. So the second bottle we're going to look at is this lovely right here. This is bottle number 35, and this is called the Inner Guide, and it is pale blue lilac over pale green. I love that bottle. It's so nice. I think it looks better actually, either up close or next to my shirt. But yeah, they call this bottle the Peace Bringer. And it's so soft and calm. I mean, how could it not be, right? It's it certainly doesn't hold anything but peace, I think, and calmness, right? And it brings really those two things into any area of your life that might actually need that, right? It's really spacious, and it fills yourself with awareness and stillness, right? And you will feel this, like, just looking at the bottle, you kind of feel that stillness in that space, right? And it gifts us with peaceful communication. Hold space for that. So communications that you will have, it will bring in those things for conflict, for example, to bring in the peace to that conflict, right? And, it's really important for us to actually remember, and I say remember, that the inner guide of each human is peace. And I say remember because I believe that we all know that. And, stop and think about how you feel when you're feeling in a state of peace, right? That, it is interesting, that in itself, right? You go into that phase, and that is the inner guide of each human on this planet. And it is interesting how it doesn't appear on the planet all the time. And, working with this system actually really shows us, because it's called color mirrors, stuff is mirroring back to us. It really shows us how everything is a mirror for us. Everything out there is a mirror for us, right? And that includes the unrest that happens in the world. And, if we would focus on inner peace rather than constantly focusing on the unrest that's in the world, the worst thing that could happen is that we would all just be in a state of inner peace. So I don't think that's such a bad thing, really, right? But if our outer world mirrors our inner world, then we are all, and then our inner world mirrors our outer world. Then if we are all in a state of peaceful thinking and we have that peaceful feeling amongst us, right, then what do you think the outside world would look like, right? So let your focus be on peace, right? Release the conflicts and the dramas and frustration, envy, struggle. There's an astrologer who calls it the struggle bus. I just love that. Fear, money challenges, whatever it is that keeps you from that peaceful feeling, release it. Release and return to peace. And I think that's a great mantra. And you can visit each one of those and continue to say that mantra over, just so that you can release those things, so you can move further towards that state of peace, right? We change your world by changing your outer world, by changing your inner world. I mean, that is, really what it's about. And in a state of peace, we can really embrace, the beauty in our differences with each other. And, we'll actually feel more connected, right? As one, as we are, right? And from this space, you can actually really attune your inner guide from the wisdom that already resides there. So what do you think of that? Yeah. Release and return to peace. I really love that. That's a great message. Yeah. Be in that state. And if you're not, make your way over there. Those are the two bottles for this full moon in November of 2024. I thank you for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next new moon.